to Record-ology.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Thank you so much for clicking on a show about feet. And here is our first foot. You'll be glad to know it's not a human foot or even an animal foot. We are just looking at silicone feet. Most of you probably guess what I was talking about. This kind of looks like a chocolate or something. I must be hungry. Anyway, we're going to take a look at a number of shapes and sizes of these awesome little Hudson Hi-Fi silicone, noise damping, isolating rubber feet. And they have a variety of uses. You may be saying, what on earth would you possibly need that for? So this is my Crosley P10 preamp. It's very basic. It's not fancy. I use it to drive an RCA Victor changer from the 50s and anything else that we kind of need on the workbench here. But you'll notice it only has 3 feet. Well, it didn't come that way. It had 4 originally. And usually they're just like little rubber, stickers. And one fell off. So my easy solution, actually I was taking it apart, I think, because the screws are often hidden underneath those. So I was taking it apart and I lost one of the feet. So I put 3 on. So I got, that's not ideal. You know what I mean? That's not ideal. I put it out of frame. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? You can use a replacement foot from time to time. Here is the Crosley RSD 2020 turntable, rubberized feet. Off on the left-hand side, we've got the Magnavox reel-to-reel turntable, which has feet not on the bottom because it's a back laying. It lays on its back. I think I'll have a flat back tape deck. I'm not 100% sure. So there are times when you need these. So they come in all different shapes and sizes. Some of them have adhesive on the back. This one does not, so you can glue it on. And these work really, really good. Obviously, we're thinking primarily for turntables. Here's a big one. And it's super soft. Not super soft. It's got, some density to it, but, you can squeeze it. And the ones that are adhesive, which are most of them, have a really good double-coated adhesive tape that's adhered to the back of the silicone and then in turn adhered to whatever you stick it onto. And in my experience, they work really, really well. Now, turntables, this would be great. So if you live in a place where the floor has got some spring to it, like an older house with a creaky floor, or, for whatever reason, there's a lot of floor noise when you walk across a room, does your turntable skip? That's one reason why you may want something like this. You may want to go with a big one like this. I actually, when I first got the Magnavox, I put 4 of these big ones underneath of it. It was so springy and bouncy. It was a little bit much. These were a little big for that. But they come in all different sizes as well. Here's the same basic shape, but in a much smaller package. I'll put links to these below if you guys want to pick any of these up. Your purchase helps to support the channel, so I thank you for that. And literally, it's as easy as pulling off the tape on the back and sticking it onto whatever it is. That's all there is to it. And they absorb vibration. So it isolates the turntable, like we've talked about before. Gotta put this on camera so you can actually see what I'm talking about. When it comes to the turntable itself, the whole thing is isolating the needle from the motor and from vibrations in the room, from the vibrations of the speakers. You're not supposed to put your speakers on the same surface as the turntable, unlike the way I do it all the time. Now, considering the volumes that I'm using and whatnot, hasn't really been a huge deal, but ideally you want to isolate. You really want to isolate. So these will help you do that. And they have other uses as well. These big guys, I've got 3 right here. I was building a model train table, and I wanted to have a portable table that wasn't, permanent in any room, one that I could sort of fold up and then deploy where I wanted it. And one of the places I wanted to use it was in the kitchen where we've got the granite. And obviously you don't want to jack up your granite. So I put 5 of these on. That's why I only have 3 of these now, because I had 2 sets of 4. Hudson Hi-Fi is going to be like, okay, that's not what you're supposed to use them for. But it worked really good. I put these underneath the plywood. And now that thing is super soft and it doesn't do any damage whatsoever because this is a very gentle, soft silicone. Now, if you go to Hudson Hi-Fi's website, you can learn more about, how these are made and what, features and, benefits you can get from them. But that's the gist of it. I wanted to show you some of the different shapes and sizes too. They even make them in little discs. Apparently a lot of good grief. Something about this light is just a magnet. Everything looks filthy on this channel now, but it's really not, I promise you. I love how they put their logo on it. So again, there's no adhesive on the back of these, but the same, I think it's the same material for all of them. Oops. Regardless. I mean, if you made a ball out of this, it would bounce forever. It'd be like a Super Ball. You remember Super Balls? The real Super Balls? I remember when I was a kid, my dad was like, you need to get a Super Ball. And so he took me to the toy store, and they were still selling them. I think they were made by Whammo or some, the same company that made like the hula hoop, super 50s era toys. And I take this, it was the real black one, because the original was black. And super cool, super neat. And he's like, all right, son, here's your very first Super Ball. I hope it lasts a long time. So we're in the parking lot of this mall called Lakeside Mall. And it's since been torn down. But it was right next to a lake. And I slammed that ball down. All right, let's see how high it can go. Bam! And it went up so high and right into the lake. And that was the end of it. So my dad's like, okay, well, you're done. Oops. So I like how Hudson Hi-Fi gives you these cards with everything. To me, a company that would do, they're just standing behind their product. You know what I mean? Standing behind their product. And from what I've heard, other users of this channel have reached out to them before, and they've been very responsive. And they're always developing cool new things. We've done a lot of stuff with these guys. And I would suggest getting some of these rubber feet. This is kind of something you want to have on standby, because you never know when it's going to come in handy. You can just reach over into your toolkit and grab some new rubber feet off. Or if you've got, here's a great example. I wasn't planning on doing this, so bear with me. So this is the RCA Victor turntable. Now these feet, if they ever were rubber, they're kind of, you can still dent your thumbnail into it a little bit. But these harden up, and let's say you're restoring something and you're like, you know what, just rip these off. So take off the old cracked ones. These ones actually aren't that bad. Take these ones off and replace it with brand new ones. And that's a cool, quick, fun, affordable upgrade to do. So anyway, there you go, guys. All sizes and shapes of silicone rubber feet from Hudson Hi-Fi, preferably not with the hair stuck to it. Again, links in the description if you're interested. That's going to do it for now, guys. Happy record hunting. We will see you tomorrow.